Hey, so this is the first in a series of videos I'm doing comparing the Samyang lenses with a set of Lomo vintage Russian lenses from the sort of 70s and 80s. It was shot on the Ursa Mini Pro, the Samyang lenses with the EF mount and the Lomo lenses with the PL mount. So let's get on and have a look at the footage. So first up we're looking at the 18mm on, and in fact this is the Sigma lens because I don't have a Samyang at 18mm to compare to the Lomo. And this is the Lomo 18mm. So the Lomo is quite soft, wide open. This was pretty wide open on the Lomo. And I mean the Sigma is a very sharp lens, kind of well known for being very sharp and clean lens. But I think the Lomo's got nice qualities to it. It's quite a warm lens, the 18mm, which differs a bit from some of the lenses we'll see later on. But it's quite a nice, it's certainly quite gentle on skin tones and has a nice kind of glow to it. And you can see here in some of the out of focus areas, you've got quite an unusual bokeh. It's kind of slightly oval and slightly kind of, it sort of fades off at the bottom. And you'll see with all the Lomo lenses, they've got quite interesting out of focus areas and kind of the way they separate depth in the image. So moving on, this is the 24mm Samyang, which is a lens I really like. And it's in comparison to the 28mm Lomo, so not exactly the same focal length, but pretty similar. And you start to see with this comparison the differences between the Samyang and the Lomo lenses. So flare test here, and you can see the Lomos really bloom out and veil a lot when you've got a light source in the frame, and that's obviously a very bright light source. It's a Tado at fully dimmed up, and then you can see if I pause it here that you've got that kind of, this is the kind of characteristics we'll see with all the lenses. The Lomos are very low contrast lenses, extremely low contrast lenses, with mostly a little bit of kind of pinky, warm softness to them. Is kind of the way that I'd describe them, certainly on faces. So this is moving up to the 35, and again you can see the same kind of characteristics of the Lomo lenses there. The Samyangs do flare a little bit, but it's quite gentle, whereas the Lomos is pretty crazy. And you can see there just the softness on Olivia's face there, and the background separation as well. The way that it falls off is, I think, really nice on the Lomos. But that's not to say the Samyangs don't look great, because they are great lenses, really sharp, quite warm, quite contrasty. On the 50mm Lomo, you can really see the kind of archetypal Lomo lens bokeh there, where it's kind of it's not uniform at all, and it sort of swirls around, similar to the Helios stills lens. I think they may have very similar optics inside them. Very controlled flares on the Samyangs. And some pretty crazy flares on the Lomos. But both lovely lenses. 50mm are both great lenses. Now onto the final lenses in this test, the 85mm Samyang. You can see that octagonal bokeh there. Great sharpness, right the way across the frame, so sharp. And then the 75mm Lomo. Again, very different bokeh shape and kind of texture, and much lower contrast. Very gentle veiling and glare there from the Samyang. And pretty intense flare and veiling on the Lomo. And if I just pause it there, that's probably the best demonstration of the difference between the two sets of lenses when you're looking at a face. The Samyang's got lovely contrast levels, lovely natural colour rendition, I would say. It's very sharp, there's lots of detail in there. You can really see the pores in the skin, you can really see right into the eyes. The Lomo, much lower contrast, very different colour rendition as well. This is the same white balance, the same grey, there's no differences between these on the technical side on the camera or anything, same lighting. They were shot about 10 minutes apart from each other. But you can see very, very different. I also think the Lomos slimmed the face down quite a bit compared to the Samyangs, which may often be desirable if you're shooting close-ups. So that's something to think about. And just this glowy, veiling, low contrast look on the Lomos. So depending on the project, I think if I was doing a kind of fashion project or something a bit dreamy, a bit hyper-real, Lomos would be great. If it's more kind of reality, gritty, then the Samyangs would be a great set of lenses to use. So I hope that was useful. I've got some more videos coming out testing an anamorphic adapter on both the Lomos and the Samyangs. I've got a little video comparing some different 50mm lenses, including these ones, and some other comparison videos coming out. And if you check also on my channel is a little test of a few of the Lomos, like a kind of lookbook test out and about exteriors, sort of putting them through their paces, so check that out. Thanks very much.